All right, so in today's video, we're discussing the $64,000 question. Is the freight broker market oversaturated? Are there too many freight brokers? Is there too much competition? We'll be discussing these questions and more coming right up. All right, so before we get started, I need just a little bit of help. So I figured, who better to ask than you, right? So if you would, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want more videos like this, and then hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time I release new videos. And I'm leaving you my free 5-video series titled, How the Load Movement Process Works, link in the description. And then if you're not quite sure where to start with your conversation when you start making calls to your shipper, check out my free video titled, What Do I Say to Shippers? Now let's get into the business. All right, so now let's first deal with the term oversaturation. I'm from a small town called Demopolis, Alabama. I'm gonna say that again, Demopolis, Alabama. And no, it's not Mayberry, but it's similar. We do have more than one red light, but we only have one Walmart, one McDonald's, and one grocery store. Now there's a reason why we only have one. Because the demographics support having just one. If you had multiple Walmarts, multiple grocery stores, multiple McDonald's, then you wouldn't have enough people, enough traffic to support having that many additional Walmarts or additional grocery stores. If we had more than one, then we would have an oversaturation of Walmart. So when someone asks if a market is oversaturated, in this case, is the freight broker market oversaturated? What they're essentially asking is, hey, is the market that I'm preparing to go into, are there too many freight brokers for me to go into that space and be successful? Are there too many freight brokers, or is the question, what is the demand for freight brokers? Because you see, if we say it's about a number, then what is too many? Is it 20,000, 30,000, 100,000? What exactly is too many freight brokers in your mind? Because according to the FMCSA, there are 17,000 freight brokers in the United States. But does that mean that's too many? Does that mean there's not enough? The question is, what is the demand for freight brokers? And then we can look at the number and say, oh, okay, I think that's a good number for me to get in because it doesn't seem as if that's a lot of freight brokers according to the demand for freight brokers. And when we look at that, shippers use freight brokers, not exclusively, of course, because sometimes shippers will go direct to carriers, but oftentimes shippers use freight brokers. And of course, carriers use freight brokers. Owner-operators use freight brokers because they don't have sales teams in place, so they use freight brokers to go and make sure they can keep their trucks moving, keep those wheels turning so that they can continue to get paid. And for those of you that would say, okay, Brandon, I buy that, but what about new demand? Is the market creating new demand? Because we know a market that's not creating new demand is a dying market. So what about the new demand? And what I say to that is, yes, there's new demand. Have you seen all of the articles? One after another talking about driver shortage. And whenever there's driver shortage, freight brokers are in high demand. And that's because shippers can't access drivers as easily as they may have been. Some shippers who didn't use freight brokers are now using freight brokers because they can't get drivers. So anytime there's a driver shortage, then of course, freight broker demand goes through the roof. So when I hear about driver shortage, that makes me happy. As a freight broker, I'm saying to myself, oh man, there's a huge opportunity for me to solve a problem. And that's what we do as entrepreneurs. If there's no problem to solve, there's nothing for you to offer. There's no way that you can get paid. But there's a problem in the trucking industry. And that problem is driver shortage. That problem is having access to trucks. Can you solve that problem? If you can make it in this industry. No two ways about that. And yes, you might be surprised to know that I do think there are too many freight brokers. There are too many freight brokers that are okay with being average, okay with having a mediocre business, too comfortable sitting back, waiting for freight to come to them instead of going after freight, too relaxed, not innovative enough, not going out and doing the things that are necessary to advance your business. Because I'll tell you this, if you are the type of person that's waiting for things to come to you, then this definitely is not for you. This is a business where you have to be willing to get up and go after it. Nothing is going to be given to you. And if you're not willing to take your business from where it is right now and grow it into the giant that you want it to be, start to put things in it to make it be that giant, then it will never get there. Because this is not like a slot machine and you just pull it today and then sevens come across the top and the money just starts to pour out. You have to put something into it, sacrifice, dedicate yourself, dedicate your time, energy, and effort to building your business. If you are willing to do that, then you can do it. But if you're not, this probably isn't the business for you. And yes, you have to be willing to compete. You have to be willing to compete with other freight brokers and other carriers for freight. That's just a part of it. But what you'll start to realize is that your greatest competition is yourself. And what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. Let's say that you were put on an email and you found out that there were about 15 other freight brokers that was on that email. Well, a lot of people would say, you know what, I'm not going to even respond to the email because there are 15 other guys on the email and I know I'm not going to get it, so I'm not going to respond. Well, that's when you make a mistake. That's when you stop competing. We want to always compete for freight. If we got an opportunity to bid on freight, you go ahead and bid on the freight. It doesn't matter whoever else is on the email because they may not even bid on the freight. They may not even answer the email. You might have 15 people on the email and 5 people may respond. So don't concern yourself with who else is on the email. You just do what you're supposed to do. Go ahead and bid on the freight and offer that price back to the shipper. That way, you cover the bases. You do what you're supposed to do, and now you have an opportunity to win the freight opportunity and earn that shipper's freight. So yes, in my opinion, the ship has sailed on the average everyday freight broker, the person that's just trying to survive, just trying to make it. But for the person that's willing to give everything it is that they have, maximum effort into building the business that they want to build, then the freight broker business offers just as many opportunities or more as any other business. It's all based on you. When it really boils down to it, you are responsible for your own success. No one else is. And when we're looking for blame at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, that person is you. The only person that you can blame to give any responsibility for something that did happen or didn't happen is yourself. So now before I go, I want to let you in on a little secret I've discovered. Usually there are 2 reasons why a person asks a question, is the freight broker business oversaturated? Number 1, what it boils down to is it seems as if that's a good way to get the conversation started. And number 2, the person is looking for an excuse not to start a freight broker business. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this information has been helpful. I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.